Did you know that closing costs for buying land in Texas can add thousands to your total expenses? If you're not prepared, these costs can take you by surprise, and that's the last thing you want when you get to the closing table. In the last video, we covered maintenance and development of costs, what they are and how to plan for them. Now let's break down some closing costs in Texas so that you know exactly what to expect when it's time to finalize your land purchase. Now here's a question to kick this off. What's one cost you think might come up during closing? Drop it in the comments and I'll let you know if you're right. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Closing costs are fees and expenses you pay to finalize the purchase of your land. They're not part of the property's purchase price, say that 3 times fast, but are essential to completing the transaction. So what's included? You'll often see costs for the title search, title insurance, lender fees if you're financing, and now because of the NAR, National Association of Realtors settlement, buyer agents fees if you had one, and also property taxes and sometimes even legal and survey fees. These varies based on the land's location and your specific transaction. And if you're paying cash, you might have fewer fees, but that doesn't mean you avoid closing costs altogether. Items like title insurance and recording fees, for example, deed recording and the plat or survey recording, those items will still apply and they're critical for protecting your investment. Now let's talk about how you can estimate these closing costs. Start with a rough percentage. In Texas, closing costs for land purchases typically range from 5 to 8% of the purchase price, depending on factors like realtor fees, commissions, property value, and whether you're financing the property. For title-related costs, expect a title search and title insurance. These fees are usually calculated based on the property's purchase price. The title insurance is essential because it protects you from any legal disputes over ownership later on. If you're financing the purchase, lender fees can add another layer of cost. These might include loan origination fees, appraisal fees, and document preparation fees. Be sure to ask your lender for a breakdown of these costs up front so that you know ahead of time. And don't forget prepaid expenses like property taxes or homeowners association dues if applicable. While not technically fees, these costs are collected at closing and can add to the total amount you'll need to bring to the closing table to fund the property. Now that we've covered what closing costs are and how they're estimated, here are some common mistakes people make with closing costs. First, not budgeting for them. It's easy to focus on the property price and forget about all the additional expenses that add up quickly. Always include closing costs in your overall budget. Second, skipping title insurance. Some buyers think it's optional, but without it, you're at risk of losing your investment if ownership disputes ever arise down the road. And finally, not reviewing your closing disclosure. This document outlines all the fees you pay at closing. The title company provides this document, and they will usually provide a preliminary statement a few days before closing for your review and then finalize the document for escrow. Take the time to review it carefully and don't hesitate to ask questions from the title company, your realtor, if something looks off. So understanding closing costs is essential for planning your budget and avoiding last-minute surprises, which no one wants at the closing table. When you know what to expect, you can approach closing day with confidence. I'm Trent Babb, your Central Texas real estate agent. If you have any questions about closing costs or the buying process, my information is right here, or you can drop your questions in the comments. Your questions help others and they help me create content that delivers real value to you. In the next video, we'll cover how to structure and send the offer for Texas land on the farm and ranch contract. Don't miss it. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you're notified when that happens. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.